Ken Willis.
Godwin Kelly.
NASCAR this week, Tuesday morning in your News Journal Online, all the time, newsjournalonline.com.
Right.
They just left Richmond. They're going to Talladega, or as Rusty Wallace calls it, Talladega.
Wow.
And there's a lot has happened since we sat in these seats last week. And first and foremost was the $35,000 fine of Tony Stewart. Carl Edwards bumping Kyle Busch out of the way to win at Richmond. And Denny Hamlin continuing to fire salvos from the Drivers' Council at NASCAR. And it's all part of the fun and folly of NASCAR this week.
Yeah.
What's on your little agenda there, Mr. Kelly?
Well, I've got an interesting little, I got to thinking about what Tony Stewart's going to do this week.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to start the car, the number 14, right?
Yeah.
And then I guess at the first caution or first opportunity, he's going to give the car to Ty Dillon to finish the race because of his injury.
Yeah, well now, I hate to interrupt.
Yeah.
But that first caution, that first opportunity, he might actually, given that it's Talladega, he might be handing the car over to a tow truck, right?
Could be.
But in theory, if all goes well, he will get out of the car and Ty Dillon will get in and finish the race.
And Ty Dillon, the interesting fact here
Mm-hmm.
is the fact that in the last 7 races at Talladega, there's been 7 different winners, including David Reagan in that,
Right.
that way down the list
Yeah.
car.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's the nicest way of putting that I could have.
so anyway, I take a look at that situation, the Stewart Dillon thing, and there's an interesting little twist there.
And you're going to look at that for us.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to know about questions and attitude?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about Denny Hamlin, what he said about the Tony Stewart fine situation in the Drivers' Council. Not exactly subtle, really, if you read it. And Clint, speaking of not so subtle, rehashed Clint Boyer's reviews of his new team at H. Scott Motorsports this past weekend at Richmond. Hide your ears, cover the ears of those the women and children. And anyway, top 10 driver rankings. Cousin Carl's still up top till further notice. That's I could try to be coy and not tell everybody who's number 1 right now, but it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
So until next week at NASCAR this week, it's Ken Willis, it's
Godwin Kelly,
and it's newsjournalonline.com and in your News Journal. Please don't hit my camera on Tuesday mornings in your driveway. Thank you.